Hello, my name's Julian Edgar, and I'm the author of the book you see in front of you, Discovering Engineering That Changed the World. What I want to do in today's video is look at an extraordinary structure in York, UK. It's the York nuclear bunker, designed and built to protect occupants within the bunker from a nuclear attack. As you can see now, it's just mixed in with all the suburban houses, but when it was first built, it was actually in the grounds of a mansion, disguised in the orchard. If we walk up a bit closer to it, we can see that it's largely covered in earth. These shelters were built on a cut and cover principle, where a large hole was excavated, the immensely strong concrete structure was placed within it, and then it was largely covered in earth, at least 3 feet of earth over the top. This is to protect it from the nuclear blast. As we go closer, we can see on the left up the steps the main entrance. That entrance is through an airlock to prevent radioactive contaminated particles coming into the bunker. On the right we have a telescopic aerial. It's in a Faraday cage which protects it from the electromagnetic pulse. When people in the bunker wanted to communicate with the outside world, they could extend the radio antenna. Moving inside the bunker, an extensive air conditioning system. The air conditioning system could be shut off from the outside world completely, just recirculating air within the bunker, or it could draw outside air through filters. The filters designed to get rid of those radioactive particles. How many people worked in such a centre? During an emergency, up to 50 or 60 people were located within the bunker, and unfortunately there are only 10 beds, so obviously a lot of hot bedding had to occur. To give you an idea of how long they expected to have to stay within the bunker, there was enough diesel fuel that ran the generator for 40 days, and even during mock-ups, even during practice sessions, they'd seal the bunker off from the outside world for 2 weeks. So what was the purpose of the bunker? The main purpose was to plot the location and intensity of nuclear bomb strikes on Britain. This area here, the well of the centre, is where they would mark on these maps using Chinograph pencils where the bombs had hit and where radioactive clouds were spreading. No LCD monitors, no computer monitors in these days, so they actually marked it on these plastic maps with Chinograph pencils. If you think that the centre looks rather familiar, it's because it's very much like the World War II tracking centres that were used to plot where German bombers were flying in over Britain. This is only 5 or 10 years later when these centres were first built, and so they used a very similar approach. How did they know what was going on outside? Well, apart from telephone communication that I'll get to in a minute, they could also directly measure things for themselves. So this is a bomb power indicator. It measures in pounds per square inch the peak overpressure of the blast wave, going up to 5 pounds per square inch, and the gauge would hold at its highest value and then would be manually reset, and the instructions were to reset it after 10 seconds in order to be able to record the next bomb's arrival. Quite an extraordinary idea. Where did they know the bombs were landing, or how did they know where those bombs were landing? Well, they used this instrument. This was placed on the surface. It's effectively just a pinhole camera with 4 different holes, one for each compass direction. Inside the unit is a strip of film, and if a nuclear bomb occurs, a nuclear bomb goes off, then the light, the intensity of the light, burns an image on the film opposite a particular pinhole, the pinhole that's best facing the nuclear strike. So by looking at the pattern of exposure on the film, they could work out in what direction the nuclear bomb had hit from this particular instrument. But how did they get the film back into the bunker? They physically sent someone out to go and collect it. And obviously if they had to go and collect it, it's because there had been a nuclear strike. The chances are that that person would have been heavily irradiated by going to have to collect the film. Here's another view looking down into the bunker and looking into the main well area of the middle of the bunker. But if you look up the top, you can see that there are a whole lot of whiteboard screens. Now on the other side of those screens sat telephone operators, and reports of nuclear strikes would be telephoned in to these operators. They would write the details on those screens and then rotate them so they could be seen by the plotters working down in the main well area. most extraordinary place I've ever been to, the York nuclear bunker. I also cover in the book a Titan missile silo, which I also went down into. And it's not all doom and gloom. I also cover hovercraft, fast cars, some incredible bridges, some incredible dams, and some incredible aircraft. If you like engineering, I think you'll love this book. Thank you.